Last night on MasterChef Australia.
Come on, guys, you need to be cooking like a Bollywood dancer. Let's go.
Jonathan's Indian-themed dish impressed in the invention test.
That is a dead set ripper dish.
But Dominic, Joanne and Matthew were not so lucky.
There is a chance that I'll be going home tomorrow.
Tonight, those three will fight for their lives in the pressure test.
This is it. This is your last chance.
It's a race against the clock to recreate a classic dessert.
This cake has to look gorgeous.
And to keep a place in the competition.
I am determined to not be eliminated today.
It's not good at all. Would you expect to find a pip?
Maybe I haven't done as well as I thought I did. Today is the pressure test. I'm up against Dom and Matt, and unfortunately the reality is that one of us will be going home today.
The meat is chewy. It's not a great dish. It's not one of your best, Joanne.
Too much saffron. The meat, it's like 5 minutes to chew it. This isn't a good dish.
What looked to be a nice curry is really incomplete, undercooked, and lacking a bit of flavour.
Putting stuff in my bag really crystallises for you, wow, you know, this is serious. It was good for me because it actually really sort of told me that I didn't want to be going home. I just love everything about food. I started off cooking just to put a meal on the table for the kids, but it's something I think about every day.
That looks so good.
Awesome. My food dream really is to be involved in the business side of the food industry, like owning a restaurant or starting up a restaurant. I'm not ready to go home. I want to have a beer with you in the house tonight.
Yeah, I'm ready to come back tonight. I feel like I'm in the right headspace to stay focused and just really go in there firing. I've been working as an accountant for 10 months now. I'm willing to put aside my accounting career to pursue my love of cooking. I think about it 24/7 and I want to be able to cook 24/7. If I can't spend the rest of my life cooking, I'll be quite gutted.
I put all my family photos in the suitcase, but I leave one aside, and that's with my husband and my children, and that's going to be with me today when I am in the pressure test. Family and food definitely go hand in hand. I love being a mum, I love being there for my daughters, but I would love a career in food. I really want to win this. I want to make them proud of me. I want to be proud of myself.
Well, the black one, eh? The symbolism of the black is quite serious. And definitely, I think when the three of us put it on, there's that feeling of somber, you know, someone isn't coming back. Good luck.
Wish you all the best.
Dominic, Joanne, Matthew, welcome back to the MasterChef kitchen. You're now about to face an elimination round.
I'm sure going through my mind is exactly what's going through the other two's, which is, you know, not going to be me today.
For one of you, your dream of becoming Australia's next MasterChef will be over in the next few short hours. To decide who'll stay and who'll go, you'll now face the most feared challenge on the MasterChef menu, the pressure test. We will all cook the same dish from the same recipe, given the same time limit. We will taste those 3 dishes, and the one who matches the recipe least impressively will end their time in the MasterChef kitchen.
The thought of being eliminated today is really frightening. I don't want to go.
Time to reveal the dish that you'll be cooking in today's pressure test. This is a classic that's been punched and pummeled and reproduced in all sorts of terrible and nasty ways, and yet, at its best, it is absolutely glorious. It's delicious.
I think if I get the right dish, I might be okay, but I'm thinking if it's cakey or dessert-based, I'm in a bit of trouble.
Ready?
Yes.
Today, you will be making a Black Forest cake. Dominic, you smiled.
That was a wry smile.
You can make a cake, can't you?
I can make a cake. Yeah.
What are you most nervous about?
A cake.
Joanne, the energy you've got standing there, I can feel it out of your toes.
I've never made a Black Forest cake ever, so I've got to do this. You know, I've got to give it my best shot, and my kids and my husband are going to love seeing me making this.
Matthew, you thinking you can do that easily?
I can pull that dish off. I am 150% determined to not be eliminated today. That thought has not crossed my mind.
Right, guys, come over and let's have a close look at the tour. The 3 pressure points. Number 1, that sponge is the building block to this cake. It's got to be light, fluffy, melt in your mouth. Number 2, the chocolate and hazelnut praline mousse. That praline, take it too far and it will be bitter and burnt. A little bit under and it will be soft, like the top of a creme caramel. It needs to be crisp and crunchy. Understand all the flavours, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Want to taste the praline? Bit of crunch there. It's gorgeous.
Hear it, can't you?
It was absolutely beautiful. I've never enjoyed eating a Black Forest cake until this point, this moment.
Number 3, the assembly is probably one of the most crucial parts. You need to assemble it with finesse, elegance, and make sure it turns out like this, maybe even better. You tasting each layer on its own, Matthew? Very strategic today, aren't you?
Sounds like lots of things need to be in the oven. I guess just setting that out is going to be important for us.
Well, multitasking.
Yeah.
There's lots of elements happening. You've got 3 different styles of cherries. You've got the ganache, you've got the mousse, you've got the cream.
There's things in every stage of it for me that can go wrong. You've got to keep focused on the fact that one of you is going home.
You've got an hour and 45 minutes to make that gorgeous Black Forest cake. Easy.
This is it. This is your last chance. Cook! Let's go! Come on!
First thing I do is get my candied cherries on the go and put them in an oven set at 120 because they take a long time and I just want to leave them in there and not have to worry about them again.
I put one oven on my left to 160 degrees for the cakes and the other oven 120 degrees for the candied cherries because they need 1 hour.
Joanne, you've put a picture of your family up on the
Yes.
oven door. Is that going to give you strength?
They always give me strength. The idea was to put it beside me so that every now and then I could look over at them and just feel, you know, that I could keep going.
Dear Mum, you make the best food in the whole world. I hope you will win and become Australia's top master chef.
You know, that sums it up, isn't it? Just cook yummy food. That's what it's all about, isn't it?
Yep.
Got your cherries in, which is a good move.
Yeah,
That's done. We'll come back and see how you're going in a minute.
Thank you. Oh, shivers. It's 10 minutes into the challenge and I've realised that I've put the candied cherries into the wrong oven.
Put in the wrong oven. I'll take him out earlier. I'll put them in the wrong oven.
I put them into the other oven, but I don't leave them in there for as long.
They're going to be burnt. Dom, both the other two have got their candy cherries in the oven. They need to cook for an hour, so make sure you get them in soon, mate.
I was trying to stay calm. I was just trying to do step 1, then step 2, then step 3, and see a bit later on if I was under control to start multitasking.
This sponge isn't your normal sponge recipe. I've analysed the recipe and worked out where each of the components come together and the timings of each. And I feel like I'm working quite fluidly and quickly at this stage.
To make the sponge cake, it's really scientific. You've got to bring the milk and eggs up to a certain temperature before you whip it for 5 or so minutes.
Jo seems panicky. She keeps going back and getting one thing.
This is like the 15th time she's gone back. Every time she goes back, she gets like 1 spoon.
I'm making the sponge cake. I'm really nervous. I just want to see these cakes in the oven. I have to get the eggs and sugar to an exact temperature of 37 degrees over a pot of boiling water.
You need a thermometer. Yeah, looks good.
Thermometer in it, okay.
That's a meat thermometer. She's not
Yeah,
going to see
just keep
37 on that thermometer.
How do you know how to use a thermometer?
There's digital ones up there.
Joanne keeps looking up on the balcony for advice.
I can't get it. I can't need this now. I need a thermometer and I can't leave it.
You can take it off, Jo.
Take it off. Thanks, Fee.
She's losing it.
Joanne's really frazzled, which I didn't expect from her in this challenge. She's well behind both Dominic and Matt.
Oh my God, she's gone. I can't believe this. Everybody's got it sorted except her. That's it. She's going home.
One of us will be going home today.
Come on. She's losing it.
5 minutes, right? Okay. Melt the chocolate in heap with bowls and whisk the egg yolks in a small heap with bowl.
You're just at the very start of this recipe, but it's half an hour down already.
The rules of the challenge are that we have an hour and 45 minutes to replicate the Black Forest cake. 2 of us will be safe and 1 of us will be eliminated.
One of the steps in the sponge is lining the cake tin. How hard can lining a cake tin be?
Just cutting out a circle out of greaseproof paper. Simple stuff like that under pressure. At home, you just do it. For some reason, in the MasterChef kitchen, it takes on complex characteristics. The hardest bit for me was getting the bit around the sides. First bit I did was too short, and I finally got it round, but I couldn't sort of get it to attach to the tin because it's greaseproof paper.
To make the sponge cake, they need to make a beautifully light batter. Add in your dry ingredients and gently fold it like, you know, you remember your mother and your grandmother doing.
Gentle.
Don't overwork the batter.
The consistency of the sponge is one of George's key pressure points for this dish. They need to get 3 layers out of each sponge cake, so that's a fair amount of rising that needs to happen in the oven.
Dom, don't overwork it, man. Just seriously stop. Don't overwork that. You'll knock all the air out of it.
Oh, wow.
She's got it sorted now.
I can't believe Joanne is staging this comeback. She's been all over the place, but it looks like she's about to get the sponges in the oven. Come on, Jo.
Guys, we're getting into the nuts and bolts of this challenge now. You have 1 hour to go.
Guys, all your cakes should be in the oven by now. You need to be motoring along.
judges go, 1 hour to go, your cake should be in the oven. And I'm like, 1 hour to go? Like, where'd that 45 minutes go? And I'm thinking, which idiot hasn't got their cakes in the oven? And of course, I look around and it's me. Doing the sides as I did, I knew I had to get the mix into the cake tin and get it to push the paper out. The grease-proof paper collapsed into the cake.
Dominic, how you going?
Oh, I don't know, George.
You got one cake lined with greaseproof and another without?
Yep.
Reason?
The lining from the second one collapsed into the cake, so I thought rather than risk it ruining it, I've buttered the side of the cake tin, so I'll take that chance better than...
You worried that anything might happen?
Yeah.
You worried that it might stick to the tin?
Yeah.
When you tip it out?
Yeah.
It's a possibility. What are you moving on to now?
I'm on to the cherry compote.
Yeah, OK. Just move now.
For the cherry compote, I need to have 600 grams of pitted cherries, and of course the cherries are not pitted. We have to do that ourselves. I have a utensil which helps to de-seed the cherries. After every pit comes out, I still stick my little pinky in there to make sure there's no pips in there.
I was really just trying to be careful that I didn't leave any pits in the cherries. Nothing worse, I would imagine, than biting into a cherry and getting a pit in there.
I'm just crazily working through pipping cherries, like there's no stopping me.
I've seen a pip from Matthew's cherry pipping fly into his bowl. Callum basically said, well, he's cutting a piece this big out of it to serve, so there's a 1 in 12 chance of them getting a pip. Let's not bother wasting his time, kind of thing. I almost wish I'd said something to Matt. He could be going home on the back of me not telling him a pip went into his cherries.
We've just turned the corner. You've got 45 minutes to go. I'm worried. I don't think you're going to finish in time.
This is it. This is your chance to stay in this competition. Let's go. Come on.
Halfway mark, and Dom's certainly worked up a sweat, but you know what? He's getting the elements ticked off that list of things to do.
The compote itself's pretty easy other than pitting the cherries. It's really just adding some brandy and sugar and stuff to it.
The cakes are finished. I take them out of the oven. They're looking good.
When Matt pulls his cakes out of the oven, it is a little bit concerning. His cakes aren't nearly as high as Joe's, and that means that cutting them into layers is going to be really difficult.
I pull my cakes out. One of them's not so bad, it's worked, which was actually the unlined one. Unfortunately, the other one hasn't risen properly, and the paper has sort of folded over on it and sort of torn a bit of the cake away.
Dom.
Hey.
Oh! What happened to your sponge?
Don't know.
It's really sunk in the middle, isn't it?
Yep.
When you folded everything through the egg,
yep,
did it knock a lot of air out?
I tried to be really light with it.
Hopefully it's going to be cooked inside and you'll be able to get a couple of layers out of it, all right?
Yeah.
You need to think laterally here.
Yeah, I am.
Pour, spread.
What they need to do is make a hazelnut praline. So that's like a sugar caramel, the roasted hazelnuts going together. That cools down so it's hard. And then it goes into a food processor to be pulsed together. And that provides that crunch in the mousse.
This is indeed the Black Forest. You guys are in a world of hurt. You have just under 30 minutes to go. Who is going to finish? That's the question.
Come on, guys, light that forest up with a little bit of fighting spirit. Come on.
I'm worried that I'm not going to get this cake finished. I've got so much to do and so little time.
Chocolate ganache. It's a nice shiny chocolatey icing for the cake. It's made purely out of melted chocolate and cream.
You need to be assembling the cake right now. Let's go.
Oh, heaven help me.
Matt, Joanne and Dom have each baked 2 sponge cakes from which they need to cut 5 even slices.
I'm rocking.
Joanne cut those cakes like a bread slicing machine. I mean, they were perfect slices of cake.
Danger time, cutting the cake. I cut a sort of a nice first layer. Then I had a look at what I had left and I thought, there's no way I'm going to get 4 more out. I might not be able to do 5.
Come on, guys. It's time to pull out all the stops. There's nothing else to lose. You've got 5 minutes to go.
Come on, guys.
There's 5 minutes to go and I'm assembling my cake. All I can hear from the banister is, get the cake made, get it made.
We've got to get a cake out. Let's go, let's go.
This is all about the assembly.
Let's go, guys. Boom, boom. Shake the room.
Assembling this cake seems to be a nightmare. There are, I don't know how many different layers, and if you have something that's uneven or sloppy, the whole thing's going to fall over when you go to cut it.
You have 60 seconds to go. Come on.
We're hitting the last 30 seconds. The final little sort of whatever you haven't done now isn't going to get done.
Dom's cake finishes up and it's got 3 tiers. The cake they had to make was a 5-tier cake. But you've got to remember, it's all about the taste in this competition as well. So it might not look right, but if it tastes great, it might get him across the line.
Oh, I don't have enough chocolate on top.
I put 7 candy cherries on and shavings of chocolate. There's not enough. And there's like about 15 seconds to go, and I'm frantically shaving some chocolate.
You have 10 seconds.
I'm missing a layer, man.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it, guys.
The last second's up and it was amazing. It was crazy. I finished.
Not having the 5 layers was pretty disappointing, but in a weird sense, I was also relieved that the bloody thing was over. You all right? Cooking's over. It's time to face the judges and have your dish tasted. I've got the 3-layered cake instead of the 5. Just still holding a hope that it somehow tastes fantastic.
So, Dom, you got 3 layers. How many layers were there supposed to be?
5.
And why don't we have 5?
We don't have 5 because my cakes didn't quite rise enough. They sunk a bit.
You didn't contemplate packing it up with chocolate mousse and giving us the full complement?
I'd rather get the spirit of it, which is a nice sponge cake bit in the middle and the, you know, the ganache and the cream, so...
Okay. It does all come down to taste, doesn't
Correct.
it?
Hopefully, yeah.
Time to carve it up into 3 nice pieces for the 3 of us. Dom, it's never going to be a sad affair tasting a chocolate cake. But let's forget that there's 3 layers for the moment, and we'll cross our fingers for you. Thanks very much.
Thanks, guys.
Well, guys, you know what? I can smell that chocolate. I can smell the alcohol and the cherries. And I don't think there's any such thing as a bad chocolate cake unless it's really, really bad.
I think what's great about this, it looks really moist. There's nothing worse than a dry Black Forest.
What I am disappointed about is those little cherries that sat on the original one had these beautiful little tails on them.
OK, let's taste, guys. But pushing the presentation aside, it's a very tasty, moist chocolate cake. There's little chunks of hazelnut praline. It's softened by that luscious cream and those little sweet cherries that have been macerated in the middle.
Put flavour aside for a second. For me, this is just one big... You could blend that up, pop it in a bowl, and you'd get the same effect. But I have to give him some credit. The cake is actually nice and moist. It's not dry.
Look, he's obviously struggled with the presentation, but there's bags of flavour, great smell when it's cut, and you want to eat it. That's really the essence of Black Forest cake. What we have to see is how the other two have done.
I walk into the restaurant with my cake and I'm really proud of it. It looks awesome. It looks amazing and I'm chuffed.
What do you think you've done best?
I think my praline mousse is good. I'm happy with that. I just hope the sponge is good enough.
The most important time now is to taste it. If you could cut us up 3 slices. Thank you. Thank you, Matthew. We'll taste your dish now.
I just want him to go so I can eat it.
Yeah,
because it just looks spectacular, doesn't it? Absolutely brilliant.
I love the fact that every layer is distinct, but what I really love is the way the whole thing shimmers like it's Christmas, you know?
It's not as tidy as it should be around the outside, but you know what? Once you cut it, and you can see those glistening cherries, cream and mousse, I just want to dig in. So no more talking.
Let's get
I'll
started.
go a taste.
Well, it looked fantastic. Does it taste fantastic?
For me, the chocolate and praline mousse should be lighter. There was plenty of cream in there. And really what we've got is ganache in 2 layers. So making a mousse, making a ganache, you can't tell the difference. That's the negative for me.
What saves it is a beautiful, moist, light sponge. I love the fact that he's left those macerated cherries in the mascarpone whole, so you get a really big, juicy bite of cherry as you eat through.
Look, the fresh cherries on top, you understand, you're going to grab them and expect a pip in them. But when you go into the soft cake, would you expect to find a pip?
No. Oh, George, that's a broken tooth moment.
I reckon a couple, possibly. It's not good at all. Not good at all.
I'm walking into the restaurant with my Black Forest cake. All of a sudden I'm thinking, maybe I haven't done as well as I thought I did.
Joanne, how did you find today's challenge?
I've missed a few things. I'm aware of it. There's 1 cherry missing on the top. I didn't sprinkle some sugar over the candied cherries. I put them in the wrong oven for about 10 minutes, and then I forgot to sprinkle them.
Does it look as good as the Black Forest cake you tasted?
It doesn't look as good because it's like
lopsided.
the leaning tower or pizza, and the chocolate shavings. I really wanted to get them in the centre, but I was just running out of time. Didn't look as nice, no.
Joanne, thank you. We'll taste your Black Forest cake now. Joanne, your future in this competition rests on these 3 substantial slices. We'll taste now, thank you.
Thanks a lot.
You know, guys, it doesn't have that squirty out the sides, glistening generosity of Matthew's, but once that was cut into and we saw those wonderful, juicy layers, I could hear the saliva in your mouth starting like a waterfall, Gary.
It looks absolutely brilliant. I actually thought when she put it down, there's not enough cream, it's not going to be any good, it's going to be dry, but look at it. It looks moist and shiny. That cherry and chocolate is just oozing together. Let's eat it. Come on.
I love that crackly crunch of the praline, the moist kind of yieldingness of those macerated cherries, and that sponge is beautifully moist.
In terms of the taste, that is absolutely rock and roll. Love it. This is good enough to bring Black Forest Gatto back. That is.
Can I also say, she took the time to count how many cherries were on top of the cake that we put out there.
Yeah, she didn't tell me, I wouldn't know.
Right? I didn't even know, and I'm like, okay, yep, fair enough, cool. And, you know, I'm sorry, because I forgot one of the cherries from the fresh cherries.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, that's detail, that's what we want, that's what we keep barking on about.
I love the way that she thinks about food in quite a methodical manner. She's quite emotional when she cooks. And today, that's the first time I saw some steel. Well, Joanne is certainly back in the swing of things. That's a fantastic cake. I think it's going to come down possibly between the boys to who goes home. Let's get them all back in, though, chat to them, and make our decision.
Whoa, an amazing challenge. I didn't think anybody was going to get a cake up on time. Could I do it from where you were at 10 minutes to go? I'd be pushing it too, and I got a hell of a lot more experience than you guys. Well done indeed. Dom, it's a credit to you that you put up a very tasty chocolate cake. 3 layers, not 5, but still worthy of a taste. And hard to put your spoon down. So good job. Joanne, you had all the components in the right spots. It looked like the cake that we unveiled earlier on today. You gave it a real red hot go, and it tasted fantastic. The only thing that put us off a little was the fact that it didn't have any of that sort of oozy cream and oozy mousse when you looked from the outside. And that's the eye catcher. You know, you see a cake in a cafe, ooh, gotta have a piece of that. Matthew, you put up a good cake. Had all the right components in all the right places, 5 layers, glaze on top. But Matthew, there was something we're a little bit worried about. George?
Matthew, there's one thing you wouldn't expect, and that's a cherry pip in the cake. Just unacceptable, man. Thousands of dollars that could cost you in getting someone's tooth fixed.
So sorry.
Yes, you've cooked a Black Forest cake. And at the end of the day, that's going to be your success or failure. We need to make sure that the right people stay in the competition. Joanne, who are you doing this for?
I finished school at year 10. I never did my HSC. I never really loved anything that I did, any job that I had, other than being a mum. I love being there for my daughters, but I've always wanted to do something for myself, and so that I can be proud and show them that, you know, I have done something with my life. And I always knew that I loved food. Everything just always came back to food. And this is an opportunity for me to do something that I love most. It's all I've ever dreamed of. I just wanted a family, wanted children and food, and to cook.
Joanne, thank you.
Matthew, how much do you want to be in this competition?
If I leave today, I'll be so disappointed in myself. This is the building blocks towards a future that I really, really want to be involved in. I don't want to look back in 10 years' time and go, great, I'm a manager in my accounting job and I hate what I'm doing. I've found cooking in the last few years and the love of cooking, and I can't see myself doing anything else.
Dom, do you think Matt deserves to stay in the competition over you?
At 45, I'm going to have less opportunities to change my life than Matt is. And only in that regard, you know, he's going to have a bunch of opportunities. I don't think I am. I don't think you got as many left on the tree at 45.
But you know, it's a great thing about the food industry. The best practitioners in food, the James Hallidays, the Ferran Adrias, they're all 20, 30 years older than Matthew and Callum. Age and experience is valued in that industry. How upset would you be if you went home today?
I'll be upset because I think I've let my own fear of failure get in the way a bit. And if that has cost me my place, I'll be pissed off at myself. Because I know I've got better to give. Thanks, man.
Week by week, the standards we demand get tougher, and the bars you have to jump over get higher. Today, one of you has to go home. Joanne, you're still in the competition. Joanne, sometimes birthday presents come in brown paper. When you open them up, it's something beautiful. And that was your cake today. It might not have looked as good as Matthew's, but gee, when the three of us bit into it, you could feel a frissons of excitement up and down the line. That really was an impeccable Black Forest cake. Impeccable. Dominic, Matthew, it comes down to you two, and it comes down to the dish you cooked today. Matthew, you're safe. You're still in the competition. Dominic, I'm sorry, mate, you're out.
I was genuinely really relieved. There's a funny emotion. I was actually relieved for him that pit hadn't cost him his place, and I was actually relieved that it was me going and not him.
I cry because I know that Dom is going to be going home. He's been supporting me all the way. So to see him go, it's like seeing my mentor leave.
Dominic, we're going to miss you, man. We're going to miss you. And, you know, I think back and I think, well, geez, my God, this man's got years past me, a wealth of knowledge and experience in life, you know, and I can see where you're going, you know. It's only the beginning. Just get a bit of food knowledge and you'll be laughing, as I'm sure there'll be a few, You know, youngsters out there that would want to work with you and create something. It's only the beginning.
That's right. If it wasn't him sitting here, I'd probably be a lot more devastated with the decision, but as I say, the feeling with me and Matt's so paternal almost that I think I would have felt worse if he'd gone home.
It's a lovely sentiment. Dominic, unfortunately, your time in the MasterChef kitchen has come to an end.
Yep. Thank you, Gary. Thanks, George. Thank you. Matt, pleasure. Thanks, guys. Walking out of the MasterChef kitchen for the last time, you know, I'm really going to miss the place, rest of the group and the judges and the contest itself. Yeah, I'm going to really miss it.
Back at the house waiting to see who had survived elimination today. It's never a good feeling.
Today, there were two which looked really good, and the big man, Dom's, didn't look that flash.
He had like 3 layers, where everyone else had like 5 or 6.
Matty had a pit fly it back into his bowl, and he didn't notice.
I would think that would be a relatively large issue because that's a crack the tooth kind of moment.
If George has cracked his tooth, that person is
Joanne's looked good.
Didn't have any cream in her mousse though, so it was kind of a bit of a, yeah.
We're all sitting in the lounge room waiting for them to return, and we're really nervous about who's been eliminated. 3 of them left this morning, but only 2 are coming home.
So this could be closer than we think. The 3 of them have all, somewhere along the line, got something a little bit skewy.
Oh, the lips smell.
The doors of the lift open and we see Joanne and Matthew come through. We're very excited, but at the same time, we're a bit upset that Dom's gone.
Dom was great about it. He took it really well.
He's happy that he went out knowing that Matt could stay in because it was down to the 2 of them. And he walked away with his head up high and so he should. So he should.
Today was a bittersweet day. I'm still in the competition, but we had to say goodbye to Dom. He'll be sorely missed, but I really hope that he goes on to fill his cooking dream, and maybe one day I'll be head chef in the restaurant he owns.
You're always going to wish you could have gone further, but as far as it's possible to be happy when you're eliminated, I'm pretty cool with it and I'm happy to be home. This isn't so bad to come home to. A loving kids and a loving wife.
It's good to see you.
I'm going to take some time now and reassess my food dream. I met some amazing young cooks in there, Callum and Matthew. If I could go and do a business with those guys, yeah, the food dream, could be well and truly alive.
Oh, it's good to be home.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad to be out, but great to be
Yeah.
Tomorrow night on MasterChef Australia.
Today's the day you could change your life forever.
Jonathan faces off in his first Celebrity Chef Challenge.
Today will be a battle royale.
Can he conquer award-winning chef Justin North's signature dish?
That's not an easy dish.
The biggest mistakes that amateur cooks can make is not tasting their food.
At stake, the ultimate lifeline.
I've been in 2 eliminations so far, so winning the immunity is really important.
Standing in his way, guest judge Donna Hay.
It's just a tiny bit messy.
I think he's going to go quite well.
I think he's dreaming.